Hey guys, welcome back to the course. In the last video, we had seen that how to set up the custom font family. Now in this video, we are going to design this home screen UI from scratch. Alright, so let's go back to the code and the VS Code and let's design this. So as you can see that this is our project which we had done so far. So you can see that a home tab and the discover tab and another screen is called like screen. So in this video we are going to design this home screen. Alright, so for that let's go to the home screen component. So you can see that inside source directory we had created skins called home screen. So I'm inside the home screen.tsx file. Here you can see that. Okay, now let's check it out the Figma. So you can see that on the Figma we are having a text called dream AI, and after that we are having a text called made by 0 degree coder, and a prompt input, and after that generate button and some text. And whenever the user whenever the user generate image, so it will show this image screen as well. Alright, as you can see that. So this is the view which we have to design, this home screen view, and this is the view which is like a scrollable view. Alright, so for that, instead of having what I'm going to do, I'm going to just remove this whole code, and here I'm going to use a scroll view for now, and inside this scroll view we're going to have another view. Okay, and inside this view we're going to have a text. The text will be like dream AI. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a one touchable opacity. Okay, and inside this touchable opacity we're gonna have a text. Okay, and if I show you this text, and we can see that made by 0 degree coder. Okay, so I'm gonna have a text one called, and we're gonna call this made by, and inside this we're gonna have another text, and it's gonna be like made by Alishan Ali, like MD Alishan Ali. All right, and after that we're gonna have to, let's see, we can see that this all this stuff here. All right, so what we're gonna do, we're gonna have to style this view. So we're gonna have for this scroll view, I'm gonna add a container style, and I'm gonna call this what, styles.container. Okay, styles.container. Okay, and let me make it bigger for you guys. Okay, and after that we're gonna have this another view, and I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot and app logo container. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a text. I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot app name. Okay, and after that we're gonna have this text, this touchable opacity, and which is gonna have we're gonna have one on press event, and it will handle open whenever the user click on this handle open link. It could be my YouTube channel or my anything. So I'm gonna just copy this function name handle open link, and I'm gonna paste this function name like this, and I'm gonna call that open link, kind of open link, which we add later, any kind of. Okay, and you can use if you wanted to open a link, you can open by linking. You can use linking from the React Native. You have to import the linking, and after that you have to write this linking.open URL. Like if you want to open any URL, Control Z, open URL if you wanted to open URL, and here you can pass any URL. Okay, so I'm gonna just have a const URL, and you can pass that URL. That will open the URL, and after that if you get any catch, if any error come up, so you can have an error handle, and you can console that error, or console.log, or you can handle that error, or you can show that error if he gets any error. All right, so after that we're gonna have if you see this Figma, 0 degree coder text has a underline as well. So we're gonna have some extra effort for this. So for text we're gonna have a style, and we're gonna call this styles dot made by. Okay, and after that inside this text we're gonna call this style, and in this one we're gonna call this styles dot made by, and after that we're gonna also add a text decoration line. It's gonna be a kind of underline. Okay, so we're gonna have to write this all the style. Okay, and if you see that it's made by Digital doesn't have any space, so let's add a space as well. Okay, now you can see that a space and all this stuff has been done. So now let's style this quickly. So I'm gonna make it smaller for now, this one, and let's copy this container. Okay, and inside this here, let me make my terminal bigger, smaller as well, and here I'm gonna add a container property, and after that I'm gonna write this property flex. First of all, flex grow as a 1. Okay, my bad, control Z, flex grow as a 1. Oh shit, what the hell, flex grow as a 1. And after that I'm going to define a background color. The background color is what, a black background color. So I'm going to add a 1e 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 1e. Okay, and it's going to make a black background color. And after that we're going to have a padding horizontal. The padding horizontal will be 20 for now, and we're going to have a justify content. Justify content will be space between, and we're gonna have a padding bottom as well, which is gonna be almost 30 for now. Okay, and we're gonna design with the container. Now the next thing is that app logo container view. So I'm gonna just copy this app logo container, and here we're gonna have some property. We will do it later because we can't see right now. And we're gonna have an app name as well. So let's design that app name. So for the app name, we're gonna have color. The color will be what, white. Okay, so I'm gonna add a FFF and the font family. So let's add the font family. Font family dot bold. Okay, font family dot bold. After that we're gonna add a font size. So font size, you can see of font family there. We're gonna add a font size of 32, and the text align will be what, center. I'm gonna make it align as a center. Okay, now you can see that this is visible to me, and after that we're gonna style this another thing that is called made by. Okay, so let's add some property there as well. Made by, the made by will be like color will be what, the color will be again some light white, 80. Okay, and after that we're gonna add a font family. Okay, so let's add a font family. The font family will be a regular kind of font font family dot regular. Okay, so I added the regular font family, and after that we're gonna add a font size as a 12. Okay, and the margin top will be what, margin top will be 5. Okay, now you can see this text, but we have to align this content in the center. So for that, as you can see that this is the app logo container. Inside this app logo container we are having a two text, like two container basically. This is the first one and this is the second one. Okay, and we have to move this all the content in the center. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm going to add one property that is called align items and center. Okay, so it will make it the item in the center. Okay, and after that I'm going to add a margin top will be what, margin top would be 30. Okay, so now you can see that this is the we are done with this stuff made by 0-degree coder and so on. After that we have to start this enter your prompt input. So let's design that as well. All right, so now to design this input container, we're gonna have like this view gonna be called a logo container, and we're gonna have another thing called what we're gonna input container. Okay, and inside this input container we're gonna have another view. This view is going to be like this, and we're gonna call this view like this, style is equal to, and styles dot we're gonna call this text input wrapper, and inside this we're gonna have another view, and inside this view we're gonna have a text input. Okay, we're gonna have like text input like this. Okay, and for this text input I'm gonna call this placeholder, and we're gonna tell that enter your prompt. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a placeholder text color as well. Placeholder text color, it will be like some light white kind of. So I'm gonna make it 80. Okay, And now let's check it out. We can't see anything on the UI right now because we had not styled it. So after this text input, we're gonna call this multi-line as well, multi-line. Okay, and the value will be what? Value will be prompt. Okay, so we will add the value later. First of all, let's design this quickly. Okay, so to design this, we're gonna call this as well, style is equal to styles dot input container. Okay, and you can see that text, my bad, it should be a text input container. I'm gonna call this instead of input container, I'm gonna call this text input container. Okay, and after that we're gonna style this. To style this, we're gonna go to the bottom, and here we're gonna copy this style name, and let me do one thing here also. We're gonna call this input container kind of, and I'm gonna add just comma so it will not break. So we're gonna text input wrapper, and we're gonna call this position relative. For now, there's one thing which I will let you know sooner why I'm adding a position relative. And after that we're gonna have a text input. Okay, text input container. Okay, my bad, there's one mistake. It should be like, on text input wrapper. Okay, I'm gonna just copy this stuff, text input wrapper, text input wrapper, and there we're gonna apply a margin. Okay, we will do it, apply the list of later there. So for now, let me copy text input container as well. I will apply this all the properties later once I style this text input. Okay, and we're gonna call this style is equal to styles dot text input. Okay, now after this, let me copy this text input and let's add this. And then after that we will style this text input wrapper and text input container. We will add some property there. So we're gonna define width will be what? Width will be 100%. Okay, and height will be what? Height will be 120 for now, and the border width will be 2. Okay, and border color will be what? Border color will be, I'm gonna just make it white for now. Border width will be 2. Okay, 2. And after that we're gonna define that. Okay, we can't see any border color for now, right? So I'm gonna make it, okay, I'm gonna make it something special. So it's gonna 56. Okay, and now you can see a border color. Awesome, this is looking great. Okay, and quick fix. All right, and after this border color, we're gonna have a border radius of 10. Okay, and after that we're gonna have a background color of this input box. That will be what? I'm gonna make it 2. Background color will be 2. Okay, and after this we're gonna define the color. The color will be what? The color will be a white color. So let me apply a white color. Okay, now after this we're gonna have a padding horizontal will be 15 kind of for now, 15, and padding vertical will be 16. Padding vertical will be 10, not 16. And we're gonna apply a font family. The font family will be regular, font family dot regular for now. Okay, and I'm gonna add a font size as well. The font size will be what? Maybe 16. Okay, now apply a font size as well, and you can see that. Okay, but the catch is that why this is coming in the bottom, right? This should be coming in the top, right? So if I uncomment this property like flex grow 1, so you can see that this is looking like this. Okay, so we will do that later. Like for now, I'm gonna just make it flex as a 1. The flex grow property is when, like, when we have a multiple content. So for now, I'm gonna just make it like this. For now, we will see it later. Okay, so for now I just comment this line code. The reason behind is that flex grow the reason behind is that I uncomment this code, my bad. Okay, because the whole content is going to complete, that's why. So we'll apply the flex grow property later. Okay, now the next thing is that we have to add some margin here. Okay, so the text input wrapper, I'm gonna add some margin top. The margin top will be 20 for now. Okay, so you can see this is looking good to me. And after that, if you see that if you type something, okay, now what I want, if there is any content, so there should be a one, clear icon, okay, clear a button icon which I want to show it. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add one, logic here. Okay, so let me add that logic quickly for you guys. So for that, we're gonna create one state, const prompt and set prompt. Okay, and you're gonna have a use state, and which is going to be an empty array. Okay, and after that we're gonna call this is the text input, and we're gonna call this value as a prompt. Okay, value as a prompt. Okay, now this is the value as a prompt, and we're gonna call this on change text. So whenever the value gets changed text, so we're gonna pass this function, so set prompt. So if I type something, the set prompt value will get updated. All right, now after this, here we're gonna do something else. So I will check that if prompt exists. So render this in. If prompt exists, so what I have to do, I'm going to render one, a clear icon. Let's suppose if we write something like I want to clear this, so you have to write, clear it by again typing it again and again. So I want to add one icon like clear icon. Whenever we click on that icon, the text input value get clear. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to add one logic here, like if prompt exists, if there is a prompt, then render one button, a touchable opacity. So I'm using one touchable opacity. Inside that, I'm going to use icon. Okay, and let me import the icon as well. So the icon which I'm going to import, that is going to be from the material icons. So I'm going to import this icon, import icon from React Native vectors icons / material icons. All right, so I'm gonna make it icons. Okay, and let me copy this name. Okay, and let's go here. So here we are having icon, and inside this icon we're gonna define the name. So name will be what? The name will be close for now. I'm gonna call this name as a close, and the size will be what? The size will be, I'm adding as 24, and the color will be maybe white color. So let me add a, oh god, I make a fix. Okay, the color will be what? The color will be white color. So let me add a FFF. Okay, and now you can see that if there is no prompt exists, so you don't have to render anything for now. All right, so now you can see that we are not able to see anything on the UI, right? So I'm gonna style this as well. So for this, we're gonna call this style, and then we're gonna call this styles dot clear button. Okay, but if the catch is that, like you can see that whenever user types something, this icon is visible, but what I want that this icon should be on the top of text input. All right, on the top of text input field. So how we can achieve that? To achieve that, we have to use a relative functionality, like relative style. Okay, so for that, what I'm gonna do that, guys, if you see that on the text input container, I'm gonna just apply position as a relative. Okay, now once I apply the position as a relative, we're gonna style it very quickly. So for that, let me add a clear button, and here we're gonna call this position as absolute. Okay, and once I apply the position as absolute, I'm going to tell that, bro, from the right it should be 10, and from the top apply as a 10. So what is going to happen, it will come to this side, and which is looking great, right? And this is the straightforward. So let me explain you so far what I had done. Like this is the logo container which we had designed, like app logo container, app name, and we had having a one on press, my bad, on press, and this is like, whenever user click on this, it will open that like URL in the browser, and we're gonna have a text input wrapper. Here you can see that the text input wrapper, text input container which we are saying, and we're gonna make the container as a position apps relative, and after that we're gonna make this absolute, and this come up in the top side, as you can see that. Okay, for now we had commented the flex grow as a 1 because we're gonna add this content completely. Okay, we're gonna add this content completely. All right, So let's move to the next stuff, which is like the next thing is like generate button. Okay, so now to work on the generate button, what we have to do, we have to add a one. Okay, now let me collapse this again. Okay, not collapse. Okay, let me add here. Okay, this is the view. Okay, my bad. This is the view of input wrapper. We're gonna have a generate button. Okay, so for generate button, we have to again use touchable opacity. Touchable. Okay, I'm making mistake. Touchable opacity, and inside this touchable opacity, we're gonna have a text. The text will be what? Generate. Let me check the Figma. What is the text exactly? Yeah, the text is generate. Okay, so this is the text generate. Okay, and after that we're gonna call this. We're gonna style this, right? So I'm gonna call this style is equal to styles dot generate a button, and we're gonna call this generate text style is equal to styles dot generate text. Okay, so we are having two things, a generate button and the generate text, which we have to design just like this, as I mentioned in the Figma, right? This will look like this. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna copy this generate button and we're gonna go to the bottom, and we have to style this, which is really straightforward. I think so. So it's easy. Okay, so I'm gonna add a generate button for you guys, just adding a comments for you to understand it. And generate button. Okay, make sure if you're writing a commented code, don't forget to add this comma, otherwise you will get into trouble. All right, now let's add a margin top. The margin top will be what? Margin top will be 10. Okay, so I'm adding a margin top, and I'm gonna add a background color. The background color will be again a black. Okay, and I think you can't see anything right now. We will see it able to later, but meanwhile let me do one thing. If you see this, we are having a generate button text. Okay, I'm gonna just update this name, generate button text. So I'm gonna add some functionalities here, like I'm gonna apply some styling, and then after that we will style the button. Okay, so I'm gonna make this color as a white, so you guys can see it and like feel it. Basically, you can see this is the text which we are able to see. And after that we're gonna add a font family. The font family will be a semi bold, font family dot semi bold, and after that we're gonna add a font size of 20. All right, this is looking good. Okay, the background color. Now let's design this button. Okay, this should be looking like this button. Okay, and we're gonna apply background color. After that we're gonna apply a padding, a vertical of 15, padding vertical 15, padding horizontal will be 30, padding horizontal will be 30, and we're gonna apply a border radius of 10. Okay, and after that align item center. Okay, and we're gonna get that into center text, which is looking good to me. After that we're gonna style this border. Okay, so I'm gonna add a border width of 2, and we're gonna add a border bottom width of 10. Okay, and we're gonna apply a border color. So border color will be what? White. Okay, not white. Yeah, let's make it something much more lighter than white. F8, F2 kind of, which is gonna be looking good to me. And after that we're gonna apply some shadow color. The shadow color will be a 000, and we're gonna apply some shadow offset, and we're gonna apply this width as a 0, and we're gonna apply a height as a 5. Okay, I think you can't see any changes, but yeah, we're gonna apply and some shadow opacity. Let's see, it's just gonna work any somehow, and we still can't see. This is for the iOS specific, like shadow color, shadow offsets. Let's apply shadow radius as well. Shadow radius, which is gonna be maybe 7, and I don't think any changes here. That is mostly for the iOS. So we're gonna, if we add a elevation property here, and might you see some changes, cool changes. Okay, So we added the elevation property, and if we comment this, guys, this all the properties, let's check it out. Just really make any differences, or am I wrong? So let me comment this code, and I can't see any changes, right? So I don't think that's really was working on like making a really any impact. Okay, so I would think we can ignore it, like, and if we make it like, generate button margin top 20, I think 10 is not, it's much more sufficient for now, so I just make it the margin top is a 20 is looking good to me. Okay, now after this we're gonna have this text generate image in real time. Okay, so for that we're gonna add a description. Okay, so let's add that description as well. So for that we're gonna have this description, so let's add that description as well. After this touchable opacity description. Okay, and we're gonna call this text, and we're gonna have a description. How we can get the description? Straightforward, you can type any dummy text, but I'm gonna just take a screenshot and copy this values, which is really straightforward in Windows, and we're gonna just check that all the text. So I'm gonna just copy this to all the text from here. Okay, and this is the trick which I generally use, and here we're gonna copy this name, and we're gonna call this style is equal to styles dot, and I'm gonna call this a description. Okay, I just copy this name description, and we're gonna have to style this. To style this we go to the bottom, and here we're gonna style this description. For that, first of all, we're gonna apply the color. The color will be what? A white color. So I'm gonna make this 80 kind of 80. Okay, and the font family will be regular font family dot regular. Okay, and we're gonna apply a font size. The font size will be 14, and the text align will be center, and margin top will be 20. Okay, now let's check it out, which is looking good to me. Okay, which is looking good to me, guys. And if I just uncomment this flex group property, and let's check it out how it's looking right now, which is looking good to me. Okay, and I mentioned that this is a property, like this is a quality of flex grow, like justify content space between. So whatever the space has been taken, this it just justifying it equally. So I had applied generate button as 20. I'm gonna make it 10 for now. Okay, and after that we have another text that is called powered by Together AI and Flux. So we have to add that as well. So let's add that as well quickly. So we're gonna have this copy this text, and we're gonna call this a footer kind of footer, and what is the text is exactly powered by Together AI and Flux. Okay, I just copy this text and paste it here. Okay, and now you can see that, which is looking insane. What do you think, guys? It's looking great. And this is the normal keyboard, like I'm gonna just ignore it. Okay, so you can see that we are done with this generate button. We have most of the stuff has been sorted, but I'm gonna style this as I think we're gonna make it much more easier, like I'm gonna make it powered text okay, and I'm gonna copy this name. Let's go to the description, like let's go to the bottom, and here I'm gonna make some changes here quickly. First of all, we're gonna make this a color. The color will be what? Color will be again 80. Okay, and the font family is which I want is like regular, which is I already mentioned on the top, font family dot regular. The more unique properties that the font size will be smaller, because this is gonna be basically what do you call it? Like this is a footer kind of. So I'm gonna make it font size a 12. But if you see that once I make the font family as a 12, it's not in the align. Okay, so for that, what I'm gonna think that I'm gonna have a one view, and inside this view we're gonna make this apply. So I'm gonna have a one view, and inside this view we're gonna render this text, and we're gonna call this styles.footer. Style is equal to styles.footer, styles.footer. So I just copy this footer and I go back to the bottom, and here I'm gonna add this, not here, I'm gonna add it here for now, so make it much more easy understanding. And once you apply that, we have to make it into center, right? So I'm gonna apply align item center, and margin top will be 30. Okay, now which is looking good to me. Okay, which is still not in the center, right? So if it's still not in the center, what I can do, guys, I can apply text align center. Let's check it out. Most probably it should work center, but why it's not working? Which is okay, it's now in the center, but most probably the footer apply make it center. Like if you, oh my gosh, I got it, it should be align item center, that's why it was not taking. Now if I comment this code, it went to the center. All right, which is looking good to me. Now another thing is that, let's suppose if you're generating an image. Okay, if you are generating an image, all right, so at that point of time, what do you have to do? You have to render a one activity indicator. Okay, so what we can do now, what we can do, here you can see a generate button. So we're gonna have one state is loading, or like is generating kind of. If it's loading is true, so first of all I'm gonna make one state here, const is loading, and set is loading. Okay, and use state will be what, for now let make it true. For now, let's suppose if it's loading true, is loading is true, and here if it's loading is true, then what we wanna, so what I want that now, show activity indicator, so basically show a loader component. Okay, and else just show a text. Okay, and inside this activity indicator, we're gonna call this size as a small, the size will be small, and the color will be what, the color will be white. Okay, now let's check it out. You can see that this is how it's looking good to me. So if user click on generate button, so this is a loader will be displayed. Okay, and after that we're gonna do one more thing. That is that we're gonna have to render the image as well. Okay, let's suppose we generate an image, so we have to render one image here. Okay, so for that we're gonna create one image card component. Okay, so first of all let's suppose if there is image, let's suppose we have image, so maybe when we had generated one image, const image and set image. Okay, and use state, by default I'm gonna make it null. Okay, and let's suppose if image value is there. Okay, so for now let's suppose if I do open a new tab and search for image, so AI mod, AI avatar kind of image kind of. If I just search it, and let's suppose if I found an image which is gonna be looking good to me, let me copy this. Okay, let's suppose I generate this image. Okay, I think so this is not looking good. Okay, let's open image in new tab. Okay, copy this URL. Okay, and let's suppose we generate this image to our AI prompt, like we our app. So at that point of time, what we're gonna do, we're gonna render this image, and we're gonna get rid of this text at that point of time. Okay, so what I'm gonna do, inside this inside this code, generate image, this is the description. So if I will see that if there is image exists, so there, like if there is image, you can use and operator. So you have to I'm gonna add one view, and here I'm gonna render an image card component, image card component. Okay, so basically we have to create a one component image card. Okay, and also this is the content. Okay, this is the content like we have to show. Okay, so if let's suppose if we had if we had generated an image, if we had generated one image, so we can render that image here as well. Like basically if there is image, so we don't show this content, we don't render this generate image content. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna add one conditional logic basically. This is here which I'm gonna do quickly. And if image is not there, if image is not there, then only render this generate image, generate that contents. Same here as well, like render the footer only if image is not there, render this image only if image value is not there, if image is not there, else you have to render the image. Okay, so here we're gonna render this image card component, so which we have to write the logic. So first of all, I'm gonna write this style is equal to styles dot image wrapper, and we're gonna have one image card component as well. So okay, so we're gonna have one image card component. So first of all, let's style this image wrapper. We're gonna have we're gonna apply some image wrapper styling. So I'm gonna just copy this name image wrapper, and we're gonna add this here in the bottom, but I'm not gonna add this property here because you guys can't see anything, right? So first of all, I'm gonna open this file, and inside this source directory I'm gonna create one directory that is called components, and here I'm gonna call this image card. What do you think? The name looks good? I think the name looks good. Image card dot tsx, and I'm gonna just make a function rnfes by typing the React Native default export function and along with the style sheet. Okay, so we just copy this image, okay, component, and here we're gonna render this image card component. So once you copy this name, you have to also import this image card component. Okay, now you can't see anything here, right? So let's style this image wrapper, and along with that we're gonna show this image later. We're gonna style this image card component later, but let's style the image wrapper so you guys don't have to comment back again. So first of all, we're gonna apply margin top is a 20, and align items center, okay. And after that we're gonna apply a shadow color. Okay, I don't think shadow color will make sense. I'm gonna make this elevation as a 10, so it will looks maybe good. Okay, now we apply this all the changes, okay, and which is getting some error. Argument type content flex grow number. Okay, let me remove this one now. Okay, now we go back to the image card component. Okay, and here we have to pass some parameters. The first props which I have to pass, that is called item. I'm gonna pass one item object, and there we're gonna have a image URL. Okay, the image URL will be what? The image URL will be like this, which we had just rendered this image. Okay, so I'm gonna just copy this image URL, and prompt we're gonna pass the next stuff that is called prompt, and like we are passing now object, so we have to make like double round brackets, like double curly braces, and the prompt will be generate an AI image kind of. Okay, now the next task which we have to work on, that is called image card component. Okay, so now it's like we're gonna have to do a lot of functionalities on the image card component. Like first of all, if you see that on the image card component, the share button, this all the stuff, but we're gonna highly focus on this in this video on rendering the image. Okay, and after that we will start working on the functionality. Okay, so first of all, we're gonna have one image card. We're gonna have, let's go to the image card component, and here we're gonna style this image card component sooner. Okay, but let me do one thing for you guys for now to show you something, and we're gonna call this flex as a 1 for now, and we're gonna call this here image, and if you see that we get the item. Okay, and here I'm gonna pass this source is equal to what? URI, and item dot image URL. Okay, and I'm also gonna make this style is equal to flex is a 1, flex is a 1. Okay, and like this. Okay, now let's check it out. So you can't see anything for now, right? Which is totally weird for me as well. So I'm gonna apply some height instead of flex as a 1, just to show you guys, and width as a also 200. Okay, now you can see that this is the person. We are able to see this person name, which is smiling right now. So this is all the stuff which I was so now in this video, now in the next video, like we had designed this home screen like half 50%. Now in the next video we gonna design this image card component looking like this, with all this functionality like download, share, copy, and the heart functionalities, which is like a time consuming, and this is the heart of the functionality of our app. Okay, so we will do it sooner. So yeah, that's all in this video guys. Thank you.